Hello, my name is Sue Atkins and I'm the author of the Can Do Kids Journal, Discover Your Confidence Superpower. So the reason I think I wrote this book dates really back to when I was 11 and I was bullied at my secondary school in the first term. And I think that stuck with me for a very long time. And that's why I want to talk to you about bullying today. I'm going to give you some tips for mums and dads, and then I'm going to show you some of the exercises that I've written here to help children develop their self-confidence, their self-esteem and their self-belief. So what to do if your child is being bullied? Well, no parent, of course, likes to think of their child being bullied or actually being the bully. But the fact is, more than half of all children are involved in either being a perpetrator, a victim, or a witness. So there's a good chance that you'll have to deal with it at some point. So if your child is being bullied, there are some things that you can do to help them. So listen is a real gift that you can give your child. I remember my mum and dad listening to me once I did eventually pluck up some courage to tell them what was happening at my school. But don't get angry and try not to get upset. Put your own feelings aside and sit down and actually listen to what your child is telling you. And then show that you have heard them properly by repeating back to them what you've heard, because that will make sure that you've got the right end of the stick, that your child feels understood, feels heard. And then ask your child, what do you want me to do about this? How do you want me to take this forward? And explain to them that nobody, no child, no adult, nobody should be allowed to be bullied. That is just not okay. And the other thing I would suggest is that you tell them that it's not their fault, because often children blame themselves. I remember thinking that there was something wrong with me when I was being sort of ganged up on in the playground when I was 11. So rather than just taking over, running around sort of roughshod over perhaps what your children want you to do, because they're terrified you're going to go and make it worse in school. So ask them how you want to take it forward. I always say strike when the iron is cold, and then you can think about who you need to speak to, who you need to tell, and what you all need to do. But your child will feel reassured if you're calm, if you're grounded, if you're sort of centered and not flying off the handle. And remind them that actually many celebrities actually have been bullied too. That just shows you that being bullied isn't about being weak, and being a bully isn't about being strong. And there are lots of books that you can read around the subject if you want to, but encourage your child to appear confident, even if they don't feel it completely, because body language and tone of voice speaks volumes. And you can role play that with your kids at home, how to react, how to speak back, how to sort of portray not aggressive body language, but assertive body language, and then their tone of voice in what they say. Now, sometimes people say nasty things because they want a certain reaction or they want to cause an upset. So if your child gives them the impression that they're not bothered, sometimes bullies are likely to stop. They're not getting the reaction that they want from the person. So one of the tips then is to role play bullying scenarios and practice your child's responses to them. Talk about the voices, your bodies, your face, the messages. All of these things are portraying a message to somebody else. But don't let it also dominate completely your life. Help your child develop new skills. My approach is to build up your child's confidence, their self-esteem, their resilience, so that they truly believe in themselves, and that would be a positive thing to come out of a rather negative experience. So that's why I've then written the Can Do Kids Journal, Discover Your Confidence Superpower, because it's bursting with activities to build up a child's inner resilience, their inner confidence, to genuinely help them long term around helping them cope with some of these scenarios and preventing them from happening again. So, you know, the other thing you can do is encourage your child perhaps to join a club that they might be interested, or take up an activity like judo or drama or a sporting activity, because that helps build their confidence as well, and it keeps the problem in perspective. And also then it gives them an opportunity to meet new people, like-minded new friends that will take the pressure off perhaps some of the unfriendly things that are happening to them at school. And then also ease up on the pressures that perhaps you put on them in the unimportant stuff about eating their broccoli, tidying their bedroom, those sorts of small things just at the moment while you're looking at the more important issues. Some of the things to avoid, I think, don't charge off demanding to see the head teacher or the bully or the bully's parents, and don't take it into your own hands, because that isn't really the best way to handle it. This is very usual that you feel like that, but they're, according to Childline, who are experts in this field of dealing with bullying and helping children, that can actually make the bullying worse. Now, never tell your child to hit, out, or shout back nasty names and lower themselves to reacting in a similar way, because it simply really doesn't solve the problem. And if your child, as I say, is underconfident, and most bullied children are, then it adds to that kind of stress and anxiety for them. But never dismiss the experience. If your child has plucked up the courage to tell you about the bullying, then it's really important to listen to them, and don't sort of crush them by saying, I was bullied at school, it didn't do me any harm. Well, bullying can do a great deal of harm, and for a great long time as well with some people. So don't ignore it, don't accept it, because that then teaches them that bullying is to be tolerated rather than stopped, and it sets them up actually for further bullying in the future. And as I say, and I say it again, no child deserves to be bullied. So let's look at your feelings, because you may feel angry and hurt and guilty and helpless and fearful, because it may bring up some of your memories of being a child. And of course it may, help you to empathise with your child, but then that's not looking towards a solution to helping. So get your feelings out of the way before you react, because then that might not be so helpful. And get prepared to admit that perhaps you don't know all the answers. So perhaps you need to find out by going on the internet to some of those reliable, very helpful bullying or anti-bullying websites. You can call a helpline perhaps, or you can ask your child's school for some support. Now, one of the simple ways that you can help alleviate some of the pressure is by doing some everyday tasks together with your child, providing that ideal opportunity to go alongside them and chat with them, not at them. So, doing stuff together, like eating a meal together, walking along, going out shopping, or whatever you might be doing, going alongside them, so you create opportunities just so that they feel heard. And it helps them to discuss this, kind of confidentially with you, and it helps them feel supported in the ways that they want to. So I think it's helpful also for you, if you feel upset and worried, to choose who you talk to about the problem too, because of course you don't want to talk to some of the mums or dads at school perhaps that might be involved with the children that are doing the bullying. So choose wisely, but find a safe place for you to offload your strong emotions around this, and make sure you do go into the school and tell them, make an appointment or ring them up or email them or something like that, because they have a legal requirement to have an anti-bullying policy. Some of them have, peer support groups when kids are at school. They have, friendship or playground buddies or playtime pals, depending on the age of the children. So one of the things I have on my website is an anti-bullying diary and a bullying diary, where you can write down some of the instances of perhaps when it's happening, because you might notice some patterns. Is it always on the school bus, if they're on the school bus? Is it always in the gym on a Wednesday? Is it when they're going out to play? When are these incidents happening? What is actually happening? And so you've got a list of sort of evidence to take into the school, and God forbid if it gets out of hand, to take to the police. So aim to work together with the school. Don't see the school as an enemy on this and to blame them. Look at ways to work together to try and sort out some of these problems. So let's have a little look There's lots and lots of resources on my website around bullying and anti-bullying and checklists to help you and stuff. But here's the Can Do Kid Journal. And let me just start with 1 or 2 ideas around how I've started with this. This is the morning matters. It sets your day up in the right way. So for kids, as they look in the mirror and they brush their teeth, it links up a habit. So they say what they're good at, what they're proud of themselves for. And they can say, well, I'm special because I'm kind to my brother. I'm a good friend. I'm great at running. I'm really good at fractions. I'm really, good at drawing or science or whatever it might be. So it becomes a habit. And it's something certainly that we're not always used to. But the morning matters is a lovely way to set yourself up in the morning, get your child to do it. And it explains it all in here, how to do that. Then there's new ways of thinking. The Can Do Kid thinks differently to others. Let's take that horrible yellow sticker off. Sorry. They try new things. They have a go. They ask more questions. They learn from their mistakes. All of these moods and mindsets really help a Can Do Kid be more resilient, be more confident, and build that muscle, because self-confidence is a muscle. And it's not arrogance. It's just a belief in yourself that you are good at certain things, and that will help them overcome the body language or whatever happened to them at school. So you build back their confidence. Everyone in life has what I call the good guy and the bad guy voices in your head. And this is a great place to write them down, draw pictures of the good guy's voice that's inside your own head and the inner gremlin. So I've got strategies and techniques about how to help your child get rid of that nasty, perhaps negative voice that's in their head now because of perhaps being bullied or just lacking in self-confidence. And this is a lovely exercise that I created. It's called the Magic Circle. And this circle of confidence here is an exercise that you can do with your kids, or they can do on their own, where they step into all sorts of positive words and an inner circle that swirls around them. We've got different colours and different ways of doing it, and they jump into their magic circle of confidence, and it spins all the way up and down them. They could do that every day before they set off for school or set off to do something in the world. So look, there's loads and loads of wonderful exercises in here. I'm passionate about supporting children to have resilience, self-confidence, self-esteem, a belief in themselves, because then they don't settle. They don't settle for a bad relationship when they get older. They don't settle for a job that doesn't fulfill them. They don't hang around with the wrong people. So the Can Do Kids Journal is a really important book that I wrote that I believe I would have loved as an 11-year-old child when I was being bullied by the girl at school. But like everything, we turn things into positives. I actually, of course, have forgiven that girl a long time ago, despite getting alopecia where my hair fell out due to too much stress, because I believe it's now caused me to write books to help children and help parents raise happy, confident kids. Take care.